Okay, so welcome everyone to this Saturday morning call. I've got some people joining us on the conference call, which is fantastic. And we also have people joining us on Zoom. And we have people not just from around the country, but from different countries around the world as well for this very, very important discussion that we've got this morning. I have to say, what a pleasure it is to be with you all, to share this presentation specifically as we introduce a new training schedule and program to help everyone in growing their business. So I want to share with you today just a couple of highlights of what we're going to be discussing this morning. First of all, I hope all of you on the call today have seen the fantastic PR that we've started to get. There was an article published just a couple of days ago now about my move into the field and my stepping down as president. But it's really received a lot of positive attention as we've been able to show people everywhere the great good that is happening here in Nikken and the reasons why now is just a fantastic time to be a part of what we're doing. A new movement is developing, and this call today is helping to facilitate the progress of that movement. So I'm thrilled that we're starting to get some real positive attention from around the world in our industry about what's going on here in Nikken. I'd encourage everyone to be sharing that article. My hope is that we'll see more of that type of message going out in the near future as we help the world see the great good that we are doing here in making a difference with the world. Again, I want to just congratulate everyone again on January's customer acquisition activity. We introduced an incentive at the end of January with the purpose of attracting more customers and exposing more people around the world to our fantastic life-changing products. We did this very successfully. I think we introduced the same volume of customers in January as we did from July through to December, which is phenomenal. I think that's record-breaking acquisition of customers. So definitely something to be sharing with people. But remember, the critical objective behind that was acquisition so that we can convert them, as many as possible, to auto-ship customers. The real strength of that opportunity comes not just in acquiring them and getting the order in January, but of course, converting your customer to an ongoing repeat purchasing member of your team through the auto-ship program. I would encourage everyone within the sound of my voice, whether you're listening live or whether you're listening to the recording, do all that you can to do that important thing called follow-up with everyone that you reached out to in January and give them a reason to plug back in and see the great benefits, because of course we've introduced now that follow-up benefit where they can get 25% off their consumables when they're a registered customer signing up for AutoShip. That's a huge benefit. So it's a win for them. We want to make sure that it's a benefit for them and a benefit for you. And of course, any relationship, any negotiation, any contract or agreement that is win-win is destined to be a long-term agreement. So we've made this deliberately a win-win opportunity for your customer and for us. So let's be sure to get that out there. We've got a few more days left in the month, and we certainly want to do all we can to finish strong and show the world who's watching us with eager eyes that not only did we have a great January, but we had an incredible February as well. So please, again, do all we can to do that critical follow-up and encourage people to get on board with the AutoShip and get more savings, more benefits, more advantages of being a Nikken customer. So I'm pleased as well to introduce today the two critical things. A new weekly schedule of calls which are designed to coordinate our activity and to support each other as an organization so that we can plug in and do the things that matter most in our business. And I'm going to provide a little bit of training right now as well for those that are going to be the hosts and presenters on the call. And though your name might be on the list yet, it might not be on the list yet, please don't panic about that, and please don't think that this little bit of training at the end is not relevant for you, because it is. Because the critical thing with this program is that it is also designed as a training platform where we can come in as a new person, observe and participate by bringing our guests or coming in to learn ourselves, but we learn through participating, watching, and being involved. And then as time moves on, we can become a presenter or a host and be involved in doing what we've been watching and observing. We learn so much through observation, don't we? And so this is an important platform to facilitate the growth and training of everyone in our teams, to make sure that they can contribute and participate. So I have to say, as I dial in here this morning, just before we move on to that schedule, I'm dialing in from Las Vegas. I have to admit, just as we get to know each other a little bit, I'll share with you a little insight into some of my nuances and quirks and my personality. I've had the privilege, by nature of my employment, of traveling the world. I've been to most countries, I think probably every country in Europe, and been on most continents in building this business. And it's been an absolute thrill and a real privilege to do that kind of, to be involved in that kind of an opportunity. But what that has resulted in is me being in a lot of hotel rooms. I say that makes me discerning when it comes to hotel rooms. My wife would call me a snob when it comes to hotel rooms. But of course, we all know that in love and in marriage, opposites attract. And whilst we have traveled out here as a family to Las Vegas this weekend, my wife is in charge of our budget, and my wife has different budgeting skills to what I do, and I'm thankful for that. She protects our financial pillar very well, but it also means that instead of getting to stay in some of the more the hotels that would be more fitting to my preferences, I stay in hotels when my wife books that are more fitting to her budget, no frills way of managing our budget. So I'm sat here today. If you can see the screen, my camera in the background, I'm sat in a room here right now of a motel, which very ambitiously rated itself as a 3-star. And anyway, I'm sure a lot of people find that absolutely just fine. But if you see a kitchen, fridge, and cooker in the background of my screen, it's because I'm sat here in a hotel room, getting ready to head out after this call. So anyway, I like to be discerning. My wife likes to be frugal. And one thing that I learned when I married Miss Wright, of course, her middle name is Always. So I've learned very quickly, she's in charge, and that's good. So let's move on to the schedule. So we've got a wonderful program here today that is going through a fantastic new objective of leading people to success in Nikken. I want to say a big thank you to Nikken personally, who have agreed to share in the efforts of this course and of this program. And these calls will be hosted by Nikken themselves and posted on the Nikken University website and on my Nikken, along with all of the supporting documents and training materials. So we're getting to begin now with something very exciting, not just with a united voice from the field, but a united and supported voice from the company, where we are all working together to have a fantastic, focused experience in building your business. You can see here some critical objectives that we want to establish in this weekly schedule. We want to have a group effort. And we all know that if you want to light a raging, roaring fire, that you get multiple sticks and cast them together into the same spot and light them up. If you take one of those sticks or one of those pieces of coal and pull them away from the pile, what happens? It goes out very quick, doesn't it? It doesn't generate the same heat. When we work together as a group, we generate far greater heat and energy and therefore power than we could if we were to work independently. So we want to make sure that we're working very focused as a group. And what you'll see this weekend with this presentation is that's exactly what is happening. We want to make sure, along with that group effort, that there is group support. We want to provide a platform for you where training and presentations are for everyone that wants to participate. And it provides, again, looking down to that third point, a group voice. We see synergy, we see unity, we see focus, we see a shared standard of excellence, and that gives us a strength of reliability and dependability in what we're doing that helps us, again, just to have more and more success. And critically, that group energy, like I was referring to before, will create a bond, not just that gives us greater success, but critically will create an environment and a spirit or energy in our team that will make us truly unbreakable. we've all seen, I think, that wonderful physical example, visual example of when you take a stick and you ask someone to break it. Very easy to do. But if you get them all together and you tie them up, and then you ask someone to break that bunch of sticks together, it becomes very, very difficult. When we are all working together, it doesn't just give us greater heat, greater energy, and greater power. It also makes us unbreakable. And I remember learning very early on in my career in network marketing that the strength of any opportunity in network marketing as a leader is to create a team or a club that people want to belong to. And when you've got that sense of belonging, then you've got something there that is unparalleled and unstoppable. We're creating that. I think we've got that here with Nikken right now. So what are some of the fruits that are going to come from this presentation, the schedule that we've got? Well, first of all, I think you're going to see a wonderful sense of improvement with the personal development. I'm going to go through different call types this morning. You'll see the different types of calls that will be coming on, and they will give you the chance to develop personally. One, because we get to learn from what we see. Two, because we get to learn from what we hear. But critically, we get to learn with how we participate and engage. I've always found that through participation, I learn more. And of course, as I've mentioned in other calls previously, that educational psychologists have proven that we learn at an accelerated rate when we learn with the intent of teaching others. And this platform that we're putting together is designed not to be a platform or a stage for a select few, but to be a platform for everyone to feel like they've got the chance to contribute, to participate, to have a voice, and to share as well. Because this platform is regardless of rank. It is interested in people where if you've got a great experience, we want you to share it. We want you to be on the platform. We want to learn from you. I'm already reaching out to people that are silvers in my team, wanting to pick their brains on how they're doing when I see things that are going well in their business that I want to be able to duplicate. That's how it should be. We want to learn from each other. So we'll definitely get improved results. We're going to have training tools. But critically, one of the things as well that I think is very important in this program is it'll help us manage our time. Let me ask you this question. For those of you on the call right now that are wanting to really build your business, how many of you find that time is not your friend? Do you find that as you have your goals set and your expectations focused, and as you get to the end of a week that you go, where on earth did my time go? How come I've been busy, but I haven't been effective? Do you find that? Have you related to that? I would believe that probably everyone on the phone or on the video call today will relate to that challenge. This plan helps us to manage our time by providing focused tools, personal training, and collective support that gives everyone the chance to do better with their time and thus better with their results. This is something that I think is really important as well. What is the reach and power of this plan? It's going to have a global impact, and let me share with you why that is the case. What we're doing now provides a template for others to follow. We've put together a schedule here, which I'll share with you in a few minutes, that works for East Coast, West Coast, North America time zones. However, we have people on the call that are also in Latin America, and we also have people on the call that are in Europe. And we have members of our teams that are in those markets that want to have this type of support in their countries too. I want them to have this type of support in these countries too. So what we can do is use this template, use this program, and simply adjust the time slots for the time zones and find different speakers based on the audiences and the groups that are in those countries where they can step in and step up to do the same thing. And then before you know it, simply by getting a few volunteers, as we've been able to do in preparation for this call, before you know it, you're going to have a schedule and a program with your own time zones for your own markets that you can run anywhere in the world. And that is just fantastic. I know, having come from the European business, just how important it is that we all feel bonded together as a global family. This gives us the chance, regardless of time zone, regardless of country, regardless of where we come from, to all be together in one wonderful, rich melting pot where we can all work together with the same messages, the same strength, the same resources, all working to the same end to help each other succeed. So that, I think, is very exciting. So my invitation, my first invitation today is, if you, excuse me, if you live in one of the markets outside of North America and you're on these calls, listening today or watching this training recorded, and you want this schedule to be introduced into the UK, in France, in Germany, or in one of the Latin American markets where you're coming from, then simply all you need to do is coordinate with the field leadership in those markets, work with your upline leaders, perhaps in North America as well, where we can provide the added support and coordination, and let's get the schedule going. And as soon as you get that schedule in place, you'll be good to launch. We can get this going as soon as you are ready, which is very, very exciting, because again, the presentations will be the same. We simply need to get them translated very quickly, which we can do, of course, with the support of our field leadership. So I'm going to introduce to you now different types of calls that will take place in this weekly schedule. I'm going to touch upon them very briefly. I will publish this presentation so that you know, so that you can see the calls. You might want to take notes now, but at the same time, if there's a lot that I'm going through, then that's okay. I will get this published. I will post this online as well, so that we can all get access to the details for the call types and the dial-in numbers and the schedule as we move forward. So this will be published. And like I said, since we are working in support with the Nikken office, we've got Jeff Isom on the call as well this morning. What we will also do is have an announcement going out from Nikken, going out to all consultants everywhere, to let them know about the call types, the dial-in numbers, how to access them, and this will be published on my Nikken as well. So I sent this information over to Jeff yesterday, so we can anticipate that this material and information will be available early next week also. So for reference, I mentioned that we would start this on March the 1st. I'm going to recommend that we start this on March the 7th and push it out just one more week. We've got the schedule in place. We have the presenters in place. We have the call types in place. We've got the presentations in place. What I'd like to do is, recognizing that trainers and presenters will be hearing this for the first time today, is we will give people the chance to learn a little bit about the program, about their presentations, and to get ready so that they can be as prepared as possible for when they're presenting. We want to make sure we start with the bang. And it'll give me a chance to get some of these presentations branded and designed as well. So these will start on March 7th versus March 1st. So as I go through these call types now, I want you also to look at the flow. There is a rhythm and a flow that goes with these calls. And so I want you to be able to see that as we go through the presentation. So these are the call types: contacting, inviting, how to build your contact list, how to extend invitations. We're going to have on every call testimonials from people that have had success and experience with the skill that is being taught, or the product that is being taught, or the business opportunity that is being shared, and they will share their testimonials as well. There will always be an invitation to act, a call to action, and there will be a target audience for each of the calls. I will explain that in the documents that will be provided supplementing this call. So each call has a specific audience, has a specific call to action, has testimonials focused on that particular skill or product, and of course each call will last just 30 minutes in length in respect of your time and in respect of your guests' times as well. We'll also have a product showcase. What we are doing is we are separating out the business presentation from the product presentation. I have found, as I've started to market myself and my business as a Royal Diamond over these past few weeks, that I need to differentiate my product message from my business message. And the product message is a part of the business message, of course, but if I'm looking for customers, I'm using different language and different words and a different message to when I'm looking for business partners. And it's important that we learn to separate those out. Especially if we're doing online advertising or online marketing, you definitely have different words, keywords, and key approaches that you use to target your audience. And even with great marketers online already, it's not just about marketing the product, it's about marketing specific products. And they'll have many microsites and what have you targeted just for a particular product versus the whole product range. So as we learn to get really good at this, what we see is that we need to separate out the business message and the product message according to our audience so that we can, again, focus on the needs of the people we're talking to versus trying to do a catch-all. Catch-all messages don't target people with great clarity. So what we're going to have is two messages. A product showcase, which will introduce prospective customers to Nikken. We'll have customer testimonials, and the call to action for this call will be to invite them to join as a customer. So if you've got prospective customers, people that are interested in healthy living, in having a wellness home, in pursuing active wellness or self-care, then you'll want to direct them to these product showcases, which we'll have at different times of different days, where you know confidently that they can be introduced clearly, professionally, and have a direct invitation. And if you're scared of giving the invite, then you've got someone here that will do it on your behalf to invite them to become a customer. If you've got existing customers, they might want to become more familiar, and then we can invite them to join the auto ship program and do some of that follow-up for you, which will also be a help. We'll have the business previews, which will introduce prospective business partners. This will be a call where if you've got someone that you've been working with that is a friend or a prospective partner in your business, that you want to introduce them here so they can learn about the business opportunity and how they can thrive financially with the Nikken plan. Again, we'll have testimonials of those that have done well in the business that will be able to share and back up and validate the experience being shared. And of course, there will be an invitation for them to either learn more and come back to you with their questions for more information, or an invitation to join and partner with us. So it'll be either come join us and participate, or go back to the person that invited you to ask your questions and get your answers. The next type will be a product training. This will be for, again, it can be for customers, business partners, guests, of course, that might want to be learning a little bit more about the product, and they'll get to know the ins and outs and some of the finer details and the features and benefits of particular products. This will be a series of different presentations. The others will be consistent presentations. This one will vary from week to week because it's going to focus on a particular product or category, and that will be very, very helpful for you for your own training. And of course, it'll show you how to share the benefits with others. Again, the invitation will be to use the product and to share the product. So we'll also launch into some other calls throughout the week. How to start will provide the options of good, better, and best for how you want to begin. We'll show how you can manage your time, how you can know what your goals are, and how you can work towards your plan. And of course, the invitation will be to invite people to start strong or to recommit. I have found one of the great benefits of a week, because we all live day to day, week to week, month to month. The benefits of a new week is it gives us a new start. The benefit of a new day is it gives us a new start. So whether you're in the business brand new or whether you've been in for 10 years, you've got the chance here to start again or to get started right, whichever way fits your need. But this will give you some good instruction here to do that. How to get aligned is going to be another very important call. The role of ABCs. I am a big advocate of ABCs, and I've been doing a lot of them over this past few weeks. I love them, and they give results that are positive. We want to share as well the value and importance of the Nikken culture. That's the team spirit that we've got here, and how it integrates so closely to humans being more, the 5 pillars of health, self-care, active wellness, and all of those great critical objectives that we share here in Nikken. We'll emphasize the weekly schedule. If someone wants to learn how the weekly schedule works, what its benefits are, If you're teaching someone that's new on your team and you're saying, hey, you've got to participate here and plug your team into it, or your prospects or your guests, and they say, well, what's the value of it? Fantastic. Jump on this call, have a listen for yourself, and tell me what you think. So that's a great way. So this really helps you with every aspect of the business. And again, there's going to be a call to action where we invite people to share the schedule with their team members and bring them coming back week after week. How to launch your business. So you've gotten started, but now you want to launch your business and you bring it to the next level and really have some strength here that is making sure that you provide opportunity for as much growth and prosperity as you can in your business. We want to make sure that you have that opportunity to grow and to thrive and to launch it with strength. Getting started is one thing and getting started right is another, but launching a business is a whole different game as well. So we're going to talk there on launching your business, how to do that very well. Oh, I went back a slide there. And of course, how to lead by example, lead with love, lead with confidence, how to use the system. And of course, we're going to invite people to lead out, whether you're a senior or a royal ambassador. We all need to grow in our leadership abilities. No one is removed from the need to grow and learn. The last two types of calls, how to mentor, is a critical one. We introduced this program last year, the recognition of leading and supporting people one-on-one, personal coaching and mentoring. This is really important, but what we've also found is we have a lot of enthusiastic volunteers to mentor, but also a lot of people wanting help and instruction on how to do it very, very well. So we've got some great people in our organization here that know how to do this, that will provide instruction, training, support, and materials to facilitate your growth as a personal mentor. We'll teach you how to listen, how to speak the truth. That's a real tough skill to develop when you're needing to give someone feedback and it might not be easy for them to hear. How to do that well, how to be accountable, how to develop people's strengths, and of course, to invite people to improve their mentoring through these key steps. We've also got the company calls, which we have at the beginning of each month, the kickoff calls, the Team Kaizen, Team Taishi calls, the book club calls, so we're all reading together the same books, learning together. I think these are excellent that Jeff is doing, and of course any special announcements that come from time to time. So what we see here is just a wonderful program. I hope as you're listening and watching that you look at this and go, my goodness, this is awesome. Wouldn't you love to have this delivered with excellence, with great people that have got great experience in our business, doing this on your behalf, with you, for you, together, to help you build your business every week? Well, this is what we've got. Even better, it's hosted by Nikken University, and the call information will be available through my Nikken. All the tools and resources will be housed there so that we're working together. Because what I've learned, again, as I've moved into the field, is there are so many resources that are available in my Nikken that sometimes get lost because we need to know where to find them. And we need to know, of course, where to look. But this is something that will, as the more we go to Nikken University, to the e-learning platform, the more we go to the My Nikken platform where these resources are housed, the more we'll discover other tools that are already in place that we haven't seen before. Jeff Isom and I, when I was president, did a lot of calls together, a lot of videos that we put into that e-learning platform, which just aren't getting the attention because out of sight, out of mind. But if we can direct people to this place, use this as a weekly schedule, and people can see the other resources that are available, then you'll start to see that you've got so much more at your fingertips for training, for sharing, for education, and for learning that is available. And that will be even better for you. So let's look at the schedule here. What we can see here is the flow. And this flow is important because there is a rhythm to this business that is important. So as you come in and as you're brand new, I'm not sure if you can see my arrow here, but we begin here with the contact and inviting. Nothing starts. I might be a great presenter, for example. I might be great at dealing with objections. As you might imagine, with my experience in the corporate world, I've had to deal with a lot of fires and a lot of objections in my time. I might be great at that, but if I suck at building my contact list, those skills don't mean anything, because it all begins there. So we've got to learn, and this is what I'm finding in my mentoring process as well. The biggest challenge for most people is, how do I build my contact list? How do I expand that and reach out to more people? Because if I want to be a gold or a platinum or a diamond or a royal diamond by the end of the year, a lot of that success will depend not on your ambition or your commitment, but on your ability to invite people and to expand your contact list. And that's where most people get stuck. It's step one. So we've got to learn how to get out of that step into the next ones. So that's a critical starting point. Of course, product introductions, the product showcase, that helps us to get more customers. I believe as we move forward in this business, that the ratio of customers to business partners will change dramatically. And it should do. We should have, as a business, 10 times at least more customers than business builders. Can you imagine what it would be like if everyone in your business had at least 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 customers in their groups? What would that do for your profitability? What would that do for the culture of your organization if everyone was doing that? What would that do for the rank advancements, for the confidence, the success? You can see that customer acquisition is important. But, of course, moving to the third point, the daily business activity, the customer acquisition doesn't rule out and it doesn't undermine the critical requirements for finding business partners. That is the jet fuel to our business opportunity. This is where we get strength like never before. The greatest influencer, according to research today, on influencing consumer behavior that triggers a purchasing decision, the greatest influence on that is word of mouth recommendation. That is what we offer with network marketing. Some people were nervous, as we emphasized last year, our focus on customers, that we would be devaluing or diminishing the role of the business builder. It is the total opposite. It is the empowerment of the business builder. That is why I'm willing to jump into the field and be one, because I see that this is great power when we start to give the real opportunity to customers left, right, and center. This facilitates significant change. But we've got to have the product focus. We've got to have the business focus. Then, of course, you get the business partner. What happens next? You want to get started. And I should emphasize, let me just jump back to this product. I believe, and there's a lot of questions around this right now, how do we start someone off in this business? There are lots of ways in, of course. I believe one of the very strong ways of getting people in is to get them in as a customer first. It's a little bit like saying, if you don't mind the analogy or the metaphor, you've got to go to church before you get baptized. You've got to see it and feel it, experience it a little bit in some way before you jump in with both feet. So I would suggest that we would want to introduce everyone as a customer first, and then as they have a great experience, we want to upgrade them to become a business partner. And then once they've become a business partner, we want to move them in here to show them how they get started. And if you look at the benefits and the unique qualities of our compensation plan as a stair-step breakaway plan, you'll actually find that this replicates that very model. The PV, the personal volume, comes from our customers. It starts here. And then we move them into our personal group here. And then as we get them started and we launch them, they move into our breakaway volume, our leadership volume, which is where we get the 6%. So you get the 25% customer retail profit. You move them into the business pool, your personal group, where you get the 20% rebates. You launch them to get them into your leadership pool, and then you start to get the 6% rebate being from your breakaway volume, and then you move them on. And of course, we know in Nikken that 6% is much better than 20%. So you can see that this mirrors the compensation plan, the flow, the rhythm, and the natural fluidity of bringing someone in as a customer through to being a business partner, through to being a leader, and so on. And again, we'll see that not everyone moves from one to the other. That's okay. And as you look at the schedule, you'll see far more blues in the schedule than you will in others, because this is where we need to get a lot of emphasis in our business building activity. So then we help to get them started. Then we see the alignment taking place. in getting familiar with our culture. We see the launch pad getting started. We see the leadership, the mentoring as I've gone through. So you see this pattern that is taking place. And now let's look at the schedule here. I've got it here in Pacific time. You'll need to convert it to your time schedule. So 8 a.m. Pacific time. If we throw that into Eastern time, I believe that's 8 a.m. I believe that's 4 p.m. If you're in the UK, 5 p.m. if you're in France or Germany. So you've got some of the earlier calls here will actually work for both the morning and the 8 a.m. and the 10 a.m. calls will work for the European markets too. And that's okay. But for some of the later ones, we may need to get a different schedule for the different time zones. So each week, we're going to have this schedule of calls that will work for your business. Again, we'll have the same dial-in details hosted by Nikken so that you can just click and plug in and participate. There's going to be two types of calls here. Those that are designed specifically to showcase the business will allow people a direct link where they can click the link and they can jump straight into the call and participate. Others that are more training focused, where it's how to mentor others, how to lead, or product training, for example, you might need to follow a link to give your email details. So the reason for that, so that we can better track the attendance and participate that way. But the quick link in for the getting started really helps, just to be able to share that link with your prospects, your guests. They click one button and they're immediately into the call, nice and easy. So this is the schedule, and I'll review with you after the schedule what the responsibilities are of each person. I want to begin by saying a big thank you to everyone that is on the schedule. And I want to say as well that I had more volunteers than I had time slots. I want to say thank you to everyone that has offered your help. Please know if you are not on a time slot yet, that doesn't mean that you won't be in the future. What this also means is those that are hosting these calls, as you see next to these names, aren't necessarily going to be the main speaker every week on that call. They're simply responsible for the call. They will pull in other people. So if you volunteered, if you've got an area of strength, if you've got testimonials that you want to be sharing, please anticipate being reached out to participate and help on these calls. This really is a very inclusive program. So let's look here. So we've got Monday morning at 8 a.m., how to mentor others. 10 a.m., a product showcase. So we're introducing this to customers or people that are just getting started. And you can see you've got that in English at 10 a.m. Pacific time, or at 4 p.m. In Spanish later on in the afternoon. And so we've got, again, team alignment and how to build your team, plugging in there with different people at different times of the day. Just checking a chat here. Yeah, we will be sure, don't you worry, when we do have a list of different people that are participating as a presenter, we'll be sure to announce that. What we will do at the end of each call will always be a call to action where we are also promoting the next call as well. So please know that the next call will always be promoted on the current call. That's a critical part of the process, right? So don't you worry about that. And what this does is it gives you an option here. Let me say, I'm going to put myself into my own shoes here because I'm in the field too. So I might have some people that I'm speaking to today, and they say, well, I'm really interested in this concept of self-care. I'd love to learn more. And I can say, well, fantastic. We've got a couple of options for you. I've got a video call that you can jump onto and have a watch, or you can dial in on your phone and have a listen. There's going to be one at 10 a.m. on Monday, or at 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Which of those times is best for you? We've always wanted to give people options. Or you want to hear some great testimonials about the products, there's a call at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, or you can have a product introduction where you can get familiar with our brands and the benefits of our products at 10 a.m. on Thursday. Which of these times is best for you? And again, they don't have to pick every single one. The benefit of the schedule is, based upon the work that you are doing in your own business, You can lead and direct people on your team, your prospects, your guests, to one or a number of these calls. You don't have to be on every single call to feel like you're a superstar. But what you will find is there will be a lot of these calls that would be relevant for business builders. How to mentor, how to lead, how to train others, how to gather customers from Gary Bolton, for example, how to contact and invite with Gary Pearcey, how to mentor with William Todd, how to lead by the heart of Nikken winner and Team Taishi winner Julie Tara, business testimonials, how to start strong by Suzanne Steele, product showcases by Susan Carver, business introductions by Steve Bono, Barbara Bertucci. My goodness, this is just going to be knock your socks off good. Everyone on these calls are just awesome. So this is the schedule. Take a screenshot if you're on your screen right now. Understand, of course, we will email this out to you. You will get this as well. But this is pretty awesome if I don't say so myself. Okay, so moving on. I want to share with you the standards of excellence. We want to make sure that with each of these calls, we have a standard that you can anticipate. Because, and I'll use an example here from Yellowstone Park. The most famous geyser in Yellowstone Park is Old Faithful. Interestingly, we've got, as you look there, if anyone has been there, what you will find is tracks that lead there, crowds that go there at certain times every day. It is the most frequented geyser there. It is the most popular. It is the most well-known, but it is not the biggest. Why do people flock there? Why do paths lead there? Why does everyone know about it? Why? Because it is the most predictable. The fact that it is the most predictable makes it the most dependable. The fact that it is most dependable makes it the most popular. We don't need to be the biggest and the flashiest to be the best. We need to be the most dependable and the most consistent. So here are our standards of excellence that we're going to promote. And so if your name is on that list, if you're going to be a presenter, if you're going to be a host, if you want to be a presenter or a host, if you volunteered and you want to make sure that you're on the list for future calls, which you will be in time, then understand these are the standards. At the same time, if you're wanting to participate and lead your guests to these calls, this is what you can anticipate as a standard of excellence moving forward. So this is both informative for guests, as I share this now, and a little bit of a heads up for those that will participate as we move forward. We want to make sure that we look the part. I want us to think in the terms of show business here. We are our brand. We want to represent it. We want to set the scene, ensure that we've got good lighting, ensure that we have a good backdrop. I love, as I've been on some of the calls with William Todd, how he has a banner behind him that presents himself and that brands himself. And I love that. We want to make sure that we've got good lighting and that we've got that we're well dressed and that we look professional, sound professional, and that we set the scene. We want to start and finish on time. I love this principle. Don't penalize the punctual. We will manage the agenda better when we start and finish on time, and we will respect people's experience and be more predictable, more dependable, and more professional as a result. So please do that, and I believe as we do, people will love the call more and rely on it and depend on it more. I know that airlines, for example, don't wait for those that are late. There's too much riding on them being punctual. And as a consequence, people are far more disciplined in being on time at an airport than they are for most places in their life. So let's be a little bit the same and start and finish on time no matter what. We're going to record the calls so that we can make them available. The good thing about this is if there is a great call at 8 a.m. or 10 a.m., for example, we can make that available later on in the day so that you can share that as well if you want to. At the same time, the training materials, the training calls that we will have will be recorded and housed on my Nikken and on the e-learning platform, because some of these will just be awesome presentations that you want to refer back to time and time again, that you can use personally for self-education, that you can share again, that you can use in your local group meetings for training purposes. These will become ongoing resources for you, especially the product ones, I think, where there's going to be so many different presentations that will be available. we're going to make sure that everyone that is leading a call prepares. Preparation proceedeth power. And no matter how many times we've done a presentation, we should not rely on the fact that we did a good one last week. My belief is, when I was a trainer, I remember teaching this to my trainers. When I was a training manager, I used to give this instruction to my trainers, was whenever we get a new group of people in, our goal should be to deliver our very, very best presentation for our first presentation that we give them. Our first presentation should be designed to be the best we've ever done in our lives. And then every day thereafter, for the rest of that group, we should work to outdo ourselves. I would say the same to each of you on the call today that are going to be presenting or hosting. For every call, for the first call that you do, set a goal to make it the best call you have ever given in your life. And then for the following calls that you host or present, your goal is simple. Outdo yourself. Beat that last one that you did. I'd like to say, as a part of that process, one of the rules here, watch your words. I want us to avoid slang and lingo too much in order to raise the level of professionalism. It's good to be personable and to be ourselves. I think that's important. But at the same time, we're representing a brand. And when we are speaking on behalf of that brand, we need to understand that we're representing it. I remember when I was an employee of Nikken, that I would always teach my staff when we were going to events, you're representing the company. Whenever you're speaking to a consultant, you're representing Nikken. You're not representing yourself. You're representing the company. And so act accordingly. I would say the same things here, that when we're presenting on these calls, we are representing the team. We are representing Nikken. We are representing self-care. We are representing professionalism. And we want to make sure that our words reflect that. So the next part, sound the part. We want to make sure as we're presenting that we vary the tone and speed of our voice. We're not afraid to pause, and we don't speak too fast. I would emphasize that last one. I learned this one in Europe as an English speaker speaking to audiences where English was a second language. Please understand that if in some of these calls, English will not be the first language for everyone. If we speak too fast, we'll lose them. At the same time, if we slow down just a little bit, it'll help us to add emphasis to our message. We want to make sure that we receive and provide feedback as a part of our process for improvement. Self-evaluation and feedback is critical for our ability to improve and to get better and better. How can I outdo myself if I'm not evaluating my performance? So we want to make sure that we're receiving feedback there, and of course report back the numbers in our calls so that we can track and measure our success based on our attendance as well. So like I said, we want to be goal-oriented, plan to give the best first presentation ever, and then work to outdo ourselves. Yes, I've just got a note here. Will these calls be recorded? Yes, they will be recorded. So please be assured that each week we'll have these calls recorded. Those that are going to be previews or product showcases, for example, they might typically be recorded and available for a week, and then we'll replace them with next week's calls. The others that are training, how to get aligned, how to lead, how to mentor, how to build your team, how the product training, that type of thing, they will be recorded and housed and stored permanently for future reference. Of course, you want to make sure we keep track. Like I said, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And if you can't manage it, you can't control it and grow and make a difference. So we've got to make sure that we have some measurements in place. We've got to make sure that we have fun with this as well. Whilst I'm emphasizing professionalism and focus, 30-minute presentations, tone of voice, starting on time, finishing on time, looking the part and being prepared, all that kind of stuff. At the same time, we've got to make sure that we're having fun with this. This has got to be entertaining. We want to make sure that people love it and that they want to keep coming back because it's 30 minutes well spent. People will follow our energy more than anything else. So recognize that as an important part. The last point here that I want to emphasize is we want to promote and invite the calls, invite people to participate. No matter how good these are, if we're talking to ourselves, it's a waste of time. We want to make sure that we're inviting guests and business partners and customers, business leaders, and everyone that we can onto these calls to add value to them. The strength of this is also in the numbers. So we want to make sure at the end of each call, we promote the next call, that on each call, we're also promoting the events that are coming up. We've got some great events that will be happening. We've got, of course, there is an event next weekend in Austin, Texas. I want to give a big shout out to the Murphys and the team out there, and a big shout out to Liz Coker, who's going to be hosting a wonderful event up back at her ranch after that, after the training there. If you're in Austin, Texas, if you want to be a part of something great there, please know, get in touch with Pathfinders, get in touch with Rick and Paige Murphy. On the 5th, there's going to be a great event out there in Austin, Texas. On the 21st, on the 19th, sorry, on the 19th of March, there's also going to be a great event in California, in Irvine, with Gary Linder, Kathy Harris, myself. We're going to be at the office doing an event there on Saturday the 19th. And of course, we've got the big event in Orlando. The numbers and the tickets are going up, which is fantastic. But don't miss out on that one in Orlando, Florida, on I think it's the 21st, 22nd of April. We want to make sure that we're participating there. Again, the event is promoted on Facebook, and we want to make sure that we're going to these events as well. So, oh, I've got a screensaver going on here. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to stop my screen sharing. I'm going to say thank you very much for everyone that has participated here on the call today. We've got a lot of people that want to do good with this program. I want to encourage everyone to participate, to share it, to get involved. This is going to be a great program for everyone to learn, grow, thrive, and prosper. I am so thrilled, so excited to be a part of a team here that has got so much skill and resource. This is phenomenal. This is exciting. We've got doctors and nurses, legal professionals, business professionals, naturopaths, therapists, you name it, entrepreneurs, authors, writers, speakers, trainers, you name it, all part of this great program and this great team, all working together to help you have a better experience in building your business. Share this, get on Facebook, tell everyone what a great program you're a part of here. Let people know that this is something to be a part of, to have a great experience with. My goodness me, people, as we work together and bring people onto these calls, your time will be better managed. You'll have a better outcome, a better experience, and you'll have so much opportunity to do better as a consequence, so that you can focus on what matters most. What matters most right now is getting as many people onto our contact list and into a presentation so that they can make an informed decision. As they do that with this resource that we've got in place now, my goodness, how can they say no? So our great challenge for everyone really is to get our contact lists out, get them growing, get talking to people, and funnel them through to the schedule, and then watch your business grow. And if you don't know how to get people onto your list and get new customers or new business partners, then get on the schedule, participate and learn, because we've got some of the best in the business that'll be showing you how to do that too. The best is yet to come with everyone here, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much. Glad you're on the call, and I'll look forward to being with you on the 7th as we move forwards with this program. In between now and then, look out from the messages coming from Nikken, who will promote through their channels the schedule, the time flow, the sequence, the dial-in details, and the benefits for your reference, so that you can use them, share them, and be familiar. This will all be housed on my Nikken and on the e-learning platform too. So it'll all be made available to you within the next few days. Thank you very much, everyone. I welcome your feedback. I hope you're going to enjoy this and be a part of it. And keep sharing the good message, because, my goodness, we're getting the world's attention, and rightly so. Love you all, and thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.